Doesn't matter. Bergeron probably reads it that way. They're on the same wavelength, you know. All right, back to the start line. In the meantime, Kohler is in for the semifinals. Now, two trucks with a lot of power who are taking advantage of a night that we've had some surprises. Gunslinger and Batman.
These two guys faced off in qualifying as well.
They did, and they were both very fast. Let's see if either learned a little more. First time on the finish line. Slight edge to the brand-new Gunslinger and Scott Hartsock, but he's got to make that move 2 more times. He opens up the advantage. Now we will go to the final turn. Gunslinger is in control. Batman trying to make up the ground at the finish. Where did Batman come from? Wow.
I will tell you, I was right with you. I thought Gunslinger was going to own him here, but John Seesock with a great last turn. A lot of nice changes to the Gunslinger. That lower center of gravity is obviously helping him get around this track. But John Seesock has just been a man on a mission here tonight. 27 flat. That's a great time here in round number 2. In fact, the quickest time of the round, and that is everybody that has run.
Well, it's an absolute photo finish. There's just no question in my mind unless something strange happens. We're going to see Gunslinger back as a fast loser, but that was close.
I mean, only 0.4 of a second to the Gunslinger was the difference. I mean, it was an extremely close race.
And again, in this business, 0.4 of a second is about half the width of that wheel.
All right, round 2 win over Gunslinger. You said you had problems with the track at first, but that doesn't seem to be stopping you.
I mean, I thought I could go a little bit faster yet. You know, the last time through it, but the truck started hiking up. I took a little bit in the corners. I got it back down and settled down pretty good. You know, my crew gave me an awesome truck to work with. I got to thank them guys. I'm just holding on to that steering wheel. You know, Hartsock he's one of the best. You know, and you know, they're able to take a win on over him is something to be proud of.
John Seesock is having a great night at Batman, but so far it looks like it could be Tony Farrell's night. We'll find out when we come back. A raucous capacity crowd loving life as part of Monster Jam in Atlanta. You want to be a part of this excitement? Make sure you go online, monsterjamonline.com. You can get tickets, check out results from all the events around the country, shop online, and, of course, look over to speedtv.com while you're there. One of the big stories of the night, Tom Meents, Maximum Destruction, wins his first round race, but gets out of control, rolls the truck. Now, while it landed on all fours, still a lot of damage. So we're going to go down to Tom Meents and see if we can get an update on the situation with Maximum Destruction's team.
The truck just caught a bad rebound. I tried to outrun it, really got up on the front tires, started flipping, and I ended up in the dumpster. What a ride.
You caused some structural damage that the officials were worried about. What went on?
I really messed up the roll cage. We're trying to pull it out of the dumpster. Actually, my fault. I hooked the chain up. I got nobody to blame but myself, but we got it back together.
It will have to be next week when we worry about Tom, though. Back together just means for freestyle. He's done in racing. The final 4, Blue Thunder against Gunslinger, who's the fastest loser from the previous round. Avenger will go up against Batman. What this bracket is showing us is that we're going to have a winner that we didn't see coming into this event. However, if you look at this night from the start, it really has so far been Tony Farrell's night. I mean, he's still got to win 2 more races. He has been the class of the field thus far, but Gunslinger, Batman, Avenger have all been good, too. It's wide open right now.
Tony Farrell was only about 0.25 of a second quicker than Scott Hartsock last time out.
Again, that Ford power coming off the line is awesome. Farrell just doesn't miss the start. Gunslinger's hanging in with him, though, as you mentioned. They have been really nose-to-nose tonight.
Scott Hartsock's a tough competitor, man. Don't ever count this guy out. On the other side, Farrell, like you said, has been a machine tonight.
And again, you're talking about a guy in Hartsock who's getting used to that new piece, but here they come to that Ford finish line up and over. Scott Hartsock pulled it out at the end in a photo finish. It looked to me like Hartsock got him.
The quickest side-by-side run of the evening. Both trucks back in the 26-second zone. Gunslinger 26.31. Blue Thunder 26.68. Gunslinger takes him out. You'd have to call that an upset here tonight.
And you talk about a man stepping it up. Let's take a look. Farrell did not make a mistake here.
Well, both guys just stepped it up. You know what? They both knew. Oh. And look how close that is, man. That is a photo finish if I've ever seen one.
Understanding is not only did they check all the times, they kept backing that up in the booth frame by frame before the officials could make the call. It literally is just a matter of a couple of inches, the margin of victory. Time-wise, they basically turned the same time.
Yeah, very close. Blue Thunder a little bit slower, but he had a little bit better start, so it made it very close at the end.
Jim Kohler and the Avenger. You know, we've talked so much about Farrell and Seesock, and they're having great nights, but Jim Kohler is having one of his best race nights we've ever seen in that Avenger truck. He'll have to try to take out Batman to get to the final. We're on board once again. Great shots looking right over the nose of John Seesock's Batman truck. That's what John's looking at, and you got to get used to that truck. That can be a little distracting, the way that roof has all that design to it. Slight edge to Batman. What great semifinal races we are getting here. Seesock knows he has to go to the whip, cracks it, flies it across, and he will beat Avenger by 1 truck length. What a final this should be. John Seesock and Batman, who just turned a 26:38, is going to go up against Scott Hartsock and Gunslinger. Both trucks turned almost very close to identical times.
37 hundredths between the first pair. The second pair, just 0.6 of a second. Amazing how close these two semifinals were. And you know what? Hats off to Avenger. He had a spectacular run here tonight. John Seesock will go to the final round, though.
Batman and Gunslinger, two very impressive veterans, Seesock and Hartsock, going to the finals. Let's go down to Brenda, who's standing by with John.
All right, John, well, semifinal win over Avenger. You're getting faster.
It doesn't feel that way in the truck. I'm fighting it a little bit. The track's starting to get rutted up pretty good in the corners, you know. They said my time was faster. It didn't feel like it, but, the truck is working great, you know. We have one more round to go against Gunslinger in the finals, you know. We were able to take him out the first time. Hopefully we can do it again in the second.
In the semifinal rounds, Gunslinger 26:31, Batman 26:38. Just 0.7 of a second between these two. It's going to be a barn burner.
Monster Jam is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. We're ready in advance. And by Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck for 30 straight years. The Georgia Dome, every fan on their feet because they're ready for the Monster Jam Racing Finals. But first, let's go to our Advanced Auto Parts. Fuel your curiosity.
This is Advanced Auto Parts to fuel your curiosity. And right now, I have the lovely and beautiful Kelly Peters, who drove all the way up here from Chattanooga, Tennessee. All right, now, if you had a question for any of the drivers in this whole Monster Jam event, who would it be and what would you ask them?
It would be Batman. Batman, I want to know, your truck is so unique. I want to know how it differs from the other trucks that are out here to compete in the event. I'm waiting on an answer.
Hi, Kelly. The difference with this truck, it's a concept body. It's made after the Batmobile. So visibility is a little bit different than it would be in a regular truck like Blue Thunder or Gravedigger. But the cool part is the body is really wild. It's one of a kind. It costs $18,000. So if I mess it up, it's going to cost a lot of money.
Well said, John. Let's take a look at where we've gotten to tonight because John is still alive. He'll take on Scott Hartsock in the finals in a moment. Problems in the first round for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger.
You know, bottom line is he's just trying to push that truck right to the very edges, which is what you have to do if you want to win. And tonight, it just got the better of him. He'll be back. He's a great driver.
He did not get the win in that race, but gave the fans a thrill. We'll see you next week in freestyle. Now, Tom Mintz did win his first round race, but the results were very similar, Ken.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he rolled that thing over hard right there, and unfortunately, when they went to clear it off of the wall, he damaged the roll cage, so he was not able to make the call back out.
As we've been able to develop earlier, they have welded it. They've got it back together. It will be ready to freestyle when we come back and see the action next week, but certainly he is done in the racing competition. It has opened the race competition up, and then Blue Thunder, who had been the fastest all night, runs into the old veteran Scott Hartsock and Gunslinger, who got him right here.
Yeah, and Gunslinger was the fast loser from the previous round. Took good advantage of that. Finds himself in the final and a shot at winning the whole deal.
The reason he was the fast loser, Batman I don't want to say put a whipping on him because it was a close race, but Batman did beat him before. Hartsock is getting quicker, though. Can Batman do it again?
Well, these two guys have lined up. It'll be the third time here tonight. And so far, Batman has won every one of the battles. He's going to have to pick up the pace here if he's going to hang because both of them are getting quicker and quicker.
You're saying they were on the track together in qualifying. It was a slight advantage to Batman. When they raced in the second round, Batman beat him slightly, but Gunslinger was able to come back as the fast loser. Now they're going to square off in the finals. But remember, Gunslinger is the guy building momentum. He's getting quicker, but Batman's certainly not backing up any. This should be a great championship race here in Atlanta. There you get a great look at the brand new Gunslinger, new truck top to bottom, including the new graphics that we've talked about with the Gunslinger, and John Seesock in his debut season driving Batman, but of course he is one of the most popular veterans in this sport. It's time for the finals. Trucks even to the first turn. This could be a race that if somebody makes a mistake will determine the outcome. Batman was slightly ahead the first time by the finish line, but they've still got a full lap to go. The second this time by. Batman opens the edge up a little bit. It was a little bit more of an advantage for John Seesock. Now, off the final turn to that Ford finish line, John Seesock and Batman breaks through with his first televised win on speed. Batman is going to the winner's stage, and congratulations to John Seesock.
Again, this is the quickest pair of the evening. Gunslinger was very consistent, ran 26:31 in the semifinal, ran 26:31 in the final. But Batman laid down the quickest time of the entire event in the final round. He saved the best for last, 26.03, and he needed it right there.
You know, Gravedigger and Max D went out early, but frankly, they weren't the best trucks tonight. You're seeing the best two trucks in this final. And it certainly is. We're going to go on board with Batman. Takes also nothing away from our other two semifinalists. Blue Thunder, fastest qualifier at the start of the night, was there all night and lost a close race. Jim Kohler and Avenger had a great racing night. But these two guys deserve to be here. Ken, what have you seen on the replay with Batman?
I see John Seesock's hat just tuck its way out of that window every now and again. He has that inside there, obviously ready to do an interview when he climbs out of that thing. But, you know, John Seesock is just a super guy. He's come so far in the past 10 years inside of the trucks that he's driven, and now is at championship caliber. He deserves what he got here tonight.
All right, well, John, new truck, new season. I mean, obviously Batman's working for you with a win in Atlanta with a photo finish.
Oh, this is great. You know, this crowd here is fantastic. The field of trucks is awesome. This is world final caliber, you know, and thanks to the crew, you know, Cody and Junior, to give me a truck that I could come out and do this way. You know, can't ask for anything better.
All right, your racing champion tonight in Atlanta, Batman, John Seesock. Show us your trophy.
There's Cody Saucier jumping into the picture with the winner. It is a team effort. You know, Cody worked his tail off. Actually, they kind of share crews, the Blue Thunder team and the Batman team. So also some props go to Bill Easterly Jr., Blue Thunder's crew chief, who jumped in, especially at the final, to help make sure that truck was ready.
The crew chiefs are absolutely critical to these guys. Without them, they would not be in the racing.
The Ford truck's bold move of the night, Mr. Stout. How about this one?
Yeah, I mean, just flies this thing huge, actually wins the race, gets in trouble right here, rolls it completely over, sticks it up on top of the wall, if you will, the wall protection, and then, of all people, this guy knows, he hooks the cable to his roll cage and actually causes the damage, not during the roll, but whenever they got the truck off of that wall protection, and he was not allowed to continue on until he fixed that roll cage.
And then stood up like a man in front of our cameras and didn't blame it on anybody else. He said, hey, I made a mistake. But we'll see, Tom, next week we go freestyling. Still, this was one of the most entertaining top-to-bottom racing brackets. The way things worked out, it's a great field we saw at the start, and it was so unpredictable, yet at the end it was kind of predictable. Batman, Gunslinger, Blue Thunder, Avenger started tonight as the most consistent trucks. They kept it from being too wild, and they got there at the end. Las Vegas is the official destination of Monster Jam and the Monster Jam World Finals, where, of course, all this action leads up to. Speaking of the World Finals, make sure when you're getting your tickets for our next World Finals, you get the Double Down package. Last year's Double Down, greater than ever and even more special. You can find out about it online. But, Ken, what a night this was in Atlanta.
It was a lot of fun, some of the best racing action we've seen already this season, and I think it's just a taste of what we're going to continue to see in 07.
Freestyle from Atlanta next time we come back at you on speed. For Ken Stout and Brenda Price, I'm Scott Douglas. See you next time out on Monster Jam.